I know a lot of people have wanted more Boondocks videos from me. A lot of the same, typical, very analytical, reflective, introspective Boondocks content that you're probably used to getting from, the Chill Review channel. But I kind of just wanted to talk about throwing hands. Kind of just want to talk about, Boondocks power levels. Like, this is some Dragon Ball Z So if you were looking for something a little bit more intellectual, then this might not be the Boondocks video for you. This video is about fighting. It's about all the Boondocks characters and who, like I said, who's got the best hands, who's really, the head honcho, the HNIC, if you will, of the Boondocks. So we got the tier list here, and this time, to make things a little more spiced up a little bit, make it a little bit more fun, I actually changed the naming of all the tiers. So instead of just A, B, C, D, E tier, we got the top tier, which is Karate Master. The second tier, which is Black Air Force. If you know, you know. I'm assuming anyone watching this video knows what Black Air Force energy means. The tier below that is Definitely Got Hands. Not quite Black Air Force energy, not quite Karate Master, but they can handle themselves in the fight. Under that is just mid, right? Like, not a terrible fighter, but definitely not gonna strike fear into many people's heart. Below that is Definitely Getting Whooped. This is somebody who's probably got a pretty bad record, win-loss record in the show, or even if they don't have a bad win-loss record that doesn't fight, you can probably tell that they probably don't have hands. And then the bottom tier is just Charmin Soft, which, shout out to Kobe. But yeah, so we can get started. I don't know if I want to go in order of what this tier list is or not, but let me just do a little different here. I'm tired of just doing things by the book. Let's go with somebody. The first one that jumps out on the page to me, a good barometer of how I'm going to be ranking these characters and everything like that. I think Granddad is a perfect place to start. I'm putting Granddad in Def Got Hands. So I love watching Granddad fight with the belt. It's one of my favorite things in the Boondocks is the fact that a belt is his weapon of choice. It's the most like black parent thing ever. And we've seen Granddad whoop some ass. Like Granddad definitely, and not just like Huey and Riley, like Granddad definitely has beat some motherfuckers up in the Boondocks. But we've also seen Granddad, especially like the later seasons when they make him into more of like a coward. We've seen him get his ass whooped. We've seen him run from a lot of fights, all that stuff. But we know, we have evidence that she's got hands. He's got a belt, but really he's got hands. He's not to be trifled with, So I'm gonna put Granddad and Def Got Hands for now. Let's see, who else can we pick? I don't know why he's jumping out to me, but Gangstalicious. We're putting Gangstalicious in Charmin Soft. And it has nothing to do with his sexuality. It has everything to do with the fact that he dropped the gun.
How you gonna drop the gun, Gangstalicious? That is not gangster. That's very not gangster.
How did you drop the gun, Gangstalicious? That's not gangster. That's very not gangster. Yeah, he's I mean, I don't think I really have to explain why he's in here. I mean, other than maybe like the kid characters, I don't think Gangstalicious is beating anybody's ass, even on this list or in this show. So yeah, he's definitely going in Charmin Soft. And since we just did the rapper from season 1, let's do the rapper who could have sort of took his place on the show as like the main rapper character. Let's go with Otis Jenkins Thugnificent. I kind of want to put Thugnificent in Def Got Hands, but I don't know if we really have proof that he Def Got Hands. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like it. Like, you can look at somebody and think like, oh yeah, they could probably fight, but if you never actually see it, you can't really say they definitely got those hands. So I think I'm gonna have to put Thugnificent in mid, just because he's one of those characters who, for whatever reason, we never really see get into a lot of fights. Like even the episodes where he's heavily featured, you don't really see him fight a lot, which is interesting for the Boondocks, because I think there are a lot of fight scenes in the Boondocks, and I can think of a lot of the other major characters have moments of when they got to fight. But yeah, I think he belongs in mid just because we don't really have the evidence to prove or disprove the fact that he has hands. But yeah, let's go to somebody who I think could go into one of the upper tiers here. Maybe a shocking pick, but Miss Van Housen is Black Air Force energy 100%. I don't care that she's an old, fragile white woman. If we're counting guns, and we're counting heart, because she is willing to shoot anything. She's on go at all times. Yeah, I shouldn't really have to explain why Miss Van Housen is at least Black Air Force energy. She can't be Karate Master. I mean, we never really see her actually pull out any kind of real hands. But again, just off of willingness to shoot a motherfucker for no good reason, yeah, she's got to be Black Air Force energy. Let's go with another interesting one, because some of these are pretty obvious, and some of these are, you might be a little surprised by my opinions, but let's go with a pimp named Slickback. I'ma go mid on a pimp named Slickback because we know what he does to women, unfortunately. But we don't know what he would do in a real fight with another man. And again, he's not in the show enough to really see. I feel like mid is going to be the tier for characters that we don't really see enough to say one way or the other. So yeah, for now, we're just going to put a pimp named Slickback in mid. Let's go with one of the big characters. Let's go with... Let's just get Huey out of the way now. I wanted to save Huey for later, but we're going to get Huey out of the way now. And this is a very interesting one because my heart wants to put Huey in Karate Master. And even like my brain of seeing him, obviously he's a karate enthusiast, right? Karate enthusiast. Maybe I'm going to have to make another tier for karate enthusiasts, but Huey loses so many fights, especially to other karate masters, that I don't know if I could put him on the same tier as the karate masters. But here's why I think ultimately he should belong a karate master. He's 10, as he said before. He's only 10 years old, and yet he's still fighting all these grown-ass men and women who are dangerous trained killers. And in some regards, he's putting up a good fight. And in a lot of regards, he's whooping asses. Like, there are a lot of times where Huey fights security guards or grown men who are supposed to be able to stop people of Huey's size and larger. And he beats the shit out of them. So, you know what? I feel more confident now talking through it. I'm going to put Huey in Karate Master. But there are definitely certain characters on this list that are over Huey in that same tier. What's next? Rollo Goodlove. I'm gonna put Rollo Goodlove in Def Getting Whooped. He's not Charmin soft like Gangstalicious. Like, he's not a complete fraud and phony. Well, he is, but he's not the same level of fake tough guy. But he's not whooping anybody's ass. Yeah, I feel like Def Getting Whooped is a good place for him. All right, how about Leonard? Everybody's favorite bitch made. Leonard is one of those characters who obviously started as like a one-note joke, but I guess he stayed a one-note joke the whole time, but the joke just kept getting better and better. Leonard is Def Getting Whooped too. I'll put him over Rollo Goodlove, but unfortunately Leonard, he's Leonard. His name is Leonard. It's so hard, and I apologize if there's any Leonards watching this video, but it's so hard to take the name Leonard seriously. Doesn't matter what they do, what they look like. If your name is Leonard, it's just so hard you're just an unserious person at that point. And it's your parents' fault. It's not your fault. But yeah, he's definitely getting whooped. Let's go to a character I think is very underrated and underutilized is a good way to put it too. Butch Magnus Milosevic, I think is his full name. Butch is Black Air Force energy. He's big as shit. The one time we actually see him fight, he beats the mess out of Riley, which isn't really saying much because Riley loses to like everybody. But he's definitely underutilized, so we can't really say we haven't seen him fight too many other people. But just off of everything we learned about him in that one episode in Shining, he's got to be Black Air Force energy up there. And speaking of another character who fought Riley, I feel like Lemilton can get put in Death God hands. And the reason I think that, even though he lost to Riley, even though he lost to the ultimate loser when it comes to fighting in the Boondocks, the reason I'm putting him in Death God hands is because outside of losing to Riley, everything else about him is Black Air Force energy to a T. But losing to Riley at least drops you down one tier, and it might even drop him down 2 tiers. But the only reason I say Death has hands is because he was beating Riley before Uncle Ruckus before Uncle Ruckus came in with his only line in the episode Smoking with Cigarettes. Ruckus has only one line, and it's when Riley and Lemilton are fighting at the end on the rooftop, and Lemilton's like choking Riley, and then Ruckus comes in. He's like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, just 2 niggas killing each other. Proceed. Like, I love how, like, in the later episodes, especially, Ruckus is less involved in certain episodes, but they just had a great knack for putting him in just at the right time, and, you know, stealing the show. But yeah, Lemilton, I'd say, is Death God hands. That loss to Riley is hard to remove that from your record, but I still got to give him credit for everything else. And speaking of Ruckus, I think we might as well talk about Ruckus. Ruckus, and you might be surprised by this if you're not as like well versed on the show, Ruckus is Karate Master. Ruckus is arguably the baddest dude in the show. You don't really notice this until season 2 when he fights Huey with the nunchucks. And like the whole like Bruce Lee homage, where he's like doing it's like the real life sound effects, and then he beats Huey, right? In the season 2 opener, Or Die Trying. He fights Dan Stuckey in the season 3 finale. It's going down and hits him with some crazy like MMA slam, knocks him out. Yeah, like Ruckus is kind of like that. Ruckus is kind of cold. He's got other moments of him getting, you know, beat up or shot or whatever, but it's clear that like when it's actually his time to shine, he's actually a karate master, which is so fittingly Ruckus and hilarious. So I fuck with that. And let's get a character. Sarah, I'm putting in Death Getting Whooped. I'm not going to put her in Charmin Soft because I feel like she's shown enough of a backbone to like differentiate her from a character like Gangstalicious. But it's still Sarah. Like, she has no feats. She's done nothing in the show to even suggest that she's got hands. And Jasmine, I'm going to put Charmin Soft just because she's Jazz. She's an adorable little girl. Like, she's not Cindy, who... Cindy, I'm putting in Death God hands. I want so bad to put her in Black Air Force energy. The only reason I don't is because I feel like, I don't know, I'll put her over Lemilton at least, but I feel like part of her is a little bit of a fraud, as crazy as that might sound. She's at least Death God hands, but goddamn, she's so about that action. I might have to move her up to Black Air Force energy. I'll move her up to Black Air Force energy. It's funny, all 3 of the people in Black Air Force energy right now are white. but that's neither here nor there. Phenomenal and Mactastic. I'm gonna put Phenomenal in mid, because I was gonna put him in Death God Hands, but he got hit by Butch Magnus in the leg. In one of my favorite lines that I quote all the time.
Oh Jesus, my motherfucker! Oh Jesus,
you broke bitch! Get a real chain!
My motherfucker! Oh Jesus, my leg! Mactastic, I'm also gonna put in mid for the same reason of like the other people in mid. Of we just don't have enough, background information to know. I mean, he's a pimp too, so is a pimp named Slickback. So we're just gonna put them both in mid. And I think that's a good place for both of them. Let's talk about the Oncelers. Ed Onceler Sr. Now I know he's old and kind of out of shape, but I'm not gonna say he's deaf getting whooped. He's such a heartless, ruthless fucking scumbag that I feel like he would do anything to win a fight. I'm gonna put him at least in mid. I think he's definitely a clear tier above the people in Def getting whooped and Charmin Soft, just off of his his black heart. So I'm gonna put him in mid. I'm gonna put Eddie Jr. in Def Got Hands. There's something about him. I mean, the way he's definitely killed somebody before, 100%. If we had more proof of his feats, I think he could even go up to Black Air Force Energy. But for now, I think he's Def Got Hands. And then Ed the Third, the grandson. I want to put in Def getting whooped just because Ed always gets shot or horribly maimed or injured. But he gets horribly injured or whatever and all these crazy like shenanigans, but he always bounces right back up. So he's definitely got a chin on him. So I'm gonna put him in mid. Because he is going to get whooped, but he's not, like, it's not going to deter him. Like, he's going to keep coming back. So he's definitely mid. I'll even put him over his granddad. And then we got some other sort of random characters here. Like R. Kelly is on this list. I mean, it's fucking R. Kelly. I'm not even going to rank R. Kelly. Let's just avoid R. Kelly at all costs. What everyone should do. Everyone, especially small women, should avoid R. Kelly at all costs. So that's what we're going to do in this. MLK, I also don't feel comfortable ranking. I'm going to try to like leave real people out of it. Cousin Jericho seems like a very random character. I'm going to put him in mid. He did whoop Ruckus though. So... But again, that's not like true Ruckus. That's like the true Ruckus only comes out when either one, he's fighting Huey, or two, it's like his life is on the line. But I'll put him in Def Got Hands. He beat Ruckus, so that's a big feat, and that's more of a feat than a lot of other characters have. So he's Def Got Hands. The fake revolutionary kid. I don't want to say fake, but the corny revolutionary kid, Huey, Ababa, Mama Say, Mama Sama, Makusa, Jenkins. He's Charmin Soft, 100%. We all saw what happened when Riley pulled out the chair. Got to his 40 time. We saw his 40-yard dash after Riley pulled out the chair. He's definitely Charmin Soft. The Bob Ross art teacher, who's really nameless, but we're just gonna call him Bob Ross art teacher. I would see this thing. Black Air Force Energy is such a negative connotation, but really it's just someone who's like willing to fight and do like crazy hood rat, But I was thinking maybe he's Black Air Force, but I'm just gonna say he's Def Got Hands. 100% he has hands, and I'm gonna put him over everyone else in Def Got Hands because he definitely got hands. He doesn't want to show you his hands, right? He doesn't want to use them, but if he has to, he will. Mr. Ruckus, Uncle Ruckus's father, he's definitely he could be Black Air Force Energy. and we see why he is. We get to see that he's, the horrible life and circumstances that led him to, attain his Black Air Force energy, but he's got to be Black Air Force energy. For what, everything he did to create Uncle Ruckus, he's got to be at least Black Air Force energy. The White Shadow is an interesting one. And I don't know. Where do you put the White Shadow? Because you talk about not knowing about a motherfucker. Like, that man is, we see him in 3 seasons, I believe, 2 or 3 seasons, and it's always in the same location, in the same spot, doing the same. Like, he's not really I don't know. We don't see enough of him. So I'm gonna say, he plays a secret agent. He's definitely got hands. We just don't know to what extent his hands are. In fact, I'm gonna even say he's probably beating everyone in Def got hands, except for maybe the Bob Ross painter, because his hands are a complete mystery, but I know he's got them. So yeah, I think that's probably a good spot for him. Let's see, is there any other more random ones? Lando Freeman, I'm gonna put Def got hands. If Robert has hands, I know they're not truly, father and son, but if Robert has hands, then Lando definitely has hands. I'm gonna put him like right over Granddad. He was also huge. I'm pretty sure they said he was like really tall. He's probably got hands. He could probably fight. Who else? Some of the random ones. The British chocolate candy bar salesman, mob boss dude. I'm gonna say he's probably mid. Like, he's probably on the same level as Ed Wunschler. Same kind of archetype. That works. Any other random characters besides R. Kelly and MLK? I think. Oh, the teacher who says "yaka," the GY sound. He's definitely getting whooped. I'm not gonna say Charmin soft because he was saying the N-word with his whole chest for half the episode. I'd say he's probably top of Def getting whooped, because he's Def getting whooped. But out of all the other people in Def getting whooped, I think he's going to put up somewhat of a fight. And I feel like we have a lot of the top tier people left here. I see Tom sitting here. And Tom's an interesting one because, God, I feel the way Tom was never, even in season 1, he was clearly kind of like a wuss. But the way they just continued to emasculate him further and further in the series always kind of bothered me. It was funny at first, but like, man, after season 2, like, it just kind of gets a little ridiculous. I hate to say it, but Tom's def getting whooped. He might even be below his wife, because I know Sarah would whoop his ass because he would let her, because he's a pushover. But I love Tom as a character, but yeah, he's def getting whooped. And who else we got here? The Booty Warrior. Booty Warrior is Black Air Force energy. 100%. He loses to Tom, but it's sort of on a technicality, like he slips on soap. But he might be top of Black Air Force energy for reasons I don't think I need to go into, and reasons I almost also don't really want to go into. He's a menace. He was in prison for a reason. Let's just say that. Also, technically, the real character, or the real person that he's based off of, is now out of prison. And I've never felt less safe in my life. Let's talk about Jin Rummy. Jin Rummy is Black Air Force energy, 100%. I'd say he's probably up. Yeah, he's probably right next to the Booty Warrior, which is not a position you want to be in, unless it's this list. He's definitely one of the rawest, coldest motherfuckers in the show. He's willing to kill anyone at the drop of a hat, willing to do anything at the drop of on a dime. His mood will change from like the most, peaceful, like warm, whatever, chill dude to like, I will blow your motherfucking head off right now, and everyone around here. Leave this whole block. Leave this whole block filled with hot brass if I have to. He's 100% Black Air Force energy. And let's talk about the Hateocracy. I will never be able to remember these characters' names. They have some crazy names. I'm just gonna put them on the screen because I know I'm not gonna remember them off the top of my head in post. But let's go. Old man with beard is Karate Master. Old woman with sun hat, I'm gonna put in Black Air Force Energy because she gets whooped more than the others do. You know, she's still Karate Master because she beats Huey, and I put Huey in Karate Master, so I'm gonna have to, live up to that. And then old man with mustache and bucket hat is also Karate Master and ahead of her. Yeah, they went crazy in that Hateocracy episode. That's got to be respected. So that's them. And now that we got them out of the way, we might as well talk about the boy Stinkmeaner, their boy Stinkmeaner. And Stinkmeaner's a weird one because there's multiple versions of Stinkmeaner. You know what I mean? Like there's human Stinkmeaner. There's the OG Stinkmeaner Prime, right? From season 1. Just a blind old man. Clearly Black Air Force energy, but he doesn't really have hands, right? So I'd probably put him at mid. He was Black Air Force energy in spirit, but not really in execution, or at least not in like actual prowess, physical prowess. But then there's season 2, Demon Stinkmeaner, who is, I'd say, Karate Master. And then there's season 4 Stinkmeaner Clone, which is easily Karate Master. It's, if not at least Black Air Force energy, because Granddad elevates himself to become, Karate Master level, which is kind of important. Should Granddad move up just because of what he does in season 4? Nah, I'm gonna keep him at Death God Hands. But yes, so there's so many different versions of Stinkmeaner that at the end of the day, and they vary, like they can vary very widely in like their actual, skills and if they really got hands or not. I think the best place to put him is Death Got Hands with Granddad. Like right below Granddad. Because even back when he was, mid or Def getting whooped in season 1, he still beat Granddad, and he got lucky, but he still beat him. So yeah, I think that's a good place for Stinkmeaner. All the Stinkmeaners combined. And then let's do Ling. It's either Ling or Ming. I always forget her name. From the Red Ball episode. I'm gonna put her right next to Huey, right behind Huey and Karate Master, because clearly she's supposed to be like Huey's level of at least athleticism, like crazy power. Like in the Red Ball when they have that crazy moment, I love that fucking moment too. When it's like they're the last 2 left in the game, and then it turns into the legit anime with like a battle shonen or something like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, and they have that one-on-one, and like Huey breaks his arm and he breaks her leg. Yeah, she definitely belongs to Karate Master. Like wherever Huey is, she should be on the same tier as him. And then, do I want to talk about Riley yet? You know what? I'll leave Riley for last. Let's do Bushido Brown. Bushido Brown is Karate Master. And even though the Hateocracy eventually beat him, it took all 3 of them, and they really only got him, not because it wasn't luck, but they had to triple team. They had to jump. When you have to jump, that's how you know somebody's really like that. You know what I mean? They really cold. Bushido Brown was the man, dog. God, he went out like such a. That fight scene with him and the Hateocracy is like my favorite fight scene in the show. It's between either that fight scene with the Hateocracy or when Granddad, Huey, and Riley fought possessed Tom. When Stinkmeaner possessed Tom and they fought in season 2. Like those 2 fight scenes are both like incredible. Oh, I just realized there's at least one person missing from this tier list, and it's the the guy from the all, I always say the Allstate commercial dude, because I don't remember the character's name or the actor's name, but it's that guy's character from season 4, Freedom Ride or Die. He needs to be in here, and he would easily be Karate Master, and he'd probably be, I'd say he'd be right below the Hateocracy, because I feel like the Hateocracy could get him, just because they seem to be on another level. But yeah, that dude deserves to be on this list too. And then Luna, I'm actually going to say is the strongest character in the show. Like 100%, she's the strongest character in the show. She went to the same Mortal Kombat ass island that Bushido Brown did, beat everybody. Literally nobody could stop her except herself. Like, that's how you know she was real. Like, nobody could beat her. She had to blow herself up, because she just wasn't mentally strong. But yeah, that's my, I think, potentially my hottest take of this video. Luna is the strongest character in the Boondocks. Fight me about it, or fight Luna about it, honestly. All right, and now we get to the moment I'm sure people have been waiting for and wanting to see. Where does Riley fit here? And Riley is probably the most, I don't know if beloved character is the right word, but I think he's the most, like, people root for Riley. Like, people want Riley to win. People want Riley to be, or wanted Riley to be more of a feature and a focus in the show. And especially as the show went on, he just became less and less of a focus, right? Out of the main 3, out of the Freeman family, he was always seemed to be the odd one out. And every season he had the least amount of episodes about him, except for season 2. I think season 2 he actually was, allowed to shine. But as anyone who watched the show should know, Riley's record in fights is not very good. It's worse than not very good. It's fucking awful. I think, and let me make sure I'm right here, because he loses to Huey. He loses to Butch Magnus. He loses to Stinkmeaner when they all fight Stinkmeaner together. He ties with Huey, I guess, in Home Alone. I feel like there's a fight I'm forgetting too where he loses again. And then he beats Milton. So I think he's like 1-5, 1-4 throughout the whole show. Yeah, Riley is always getting his ass whooped, which is crazy because he talks the most shit at anybody. And that's not even counting like the beatings he gets from Granddad. Like, I'm not going to count that as a fight, but any real fight, Riley usually loses, and it's usually pretty bad and embarrassing. So he's 100% not sharp and soft. Like, there's nothing soft about Riley, but he's getting whooped. Riley is definitely getting whooped. I'll put him like right over Leonard. Nobody fights more and wins less than Riley, other than maybe Huey, but everybody Huey fights is just all like on another level. And Huey actually wins a lot of fights too. Riley just always loses. So yeah, so he's got to be there. I mean, put MLK and R. Kelly in mid. I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, I think that's the list of all the major characters and some other characters that aren't really that major, but just made it in here somehow. But yeah, this was kind of fun, kind of funny and fun to do. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, I'm sure you have your opinions of who you think is the strongest. If maybe I'm sure you maybe disagree with some of my opinions, but yeah, let me know in the comments below. Let me know, what Boondocks character you think is the best or the worst, or who's Charmin Soft, who's a true karate master, who's Black Air Force energy incarnate, all that stuff. Yeah, it was fun. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.